Hey, what's up, y'all? And well, week 14, rivalry week of the 2024 college football season is in the books. And man, did last weekend deliver? Anyway, so we're gonna talk about it. So, of course, first up, we got to talk about Ohio State. Yep, you lost to Michigan. Michigan. Yep, again. Yep, that's your fourth year in a row that you've lost to Michigan. Michigan is your daddy. You just cannot beat Michigan. I mean, this was a terrible Michigan team. I mean, it was one thing to be losing to Michigan when they were a playoff team, but you lost to a 6-win Michigan. I mean, they were terrible this year. And all you could do was score 10 points. I mean, what are you doing? Y'all suck. How did y'all let this happen? You had all the revenge factor in this game. You were supposed to blow Michigan out. I mean, all that talent that you've got on the offense, I mean, with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and Emeka Egbuka at receiver. I mean, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson at running back. And this is the best you can do. I mean, yep, there you go. Yep, Ryan Day still can't win big games. Still can't beat Michigan. I mean, Will Howard. I mean, he's just not that good. I mean, Davis Warren threw for like 60 something yards, like 4 yards per attempt. I mean, I mean, they were absolutely just totally one dimensional. I mean, meanwhile, you were getting like 6 yards per pass attempt and like 3 yards a carry. And you got beat. I mean, yep. I guess y'all can fire Ryan Day. No coach has fewer losses in their first 5 years than Ryan Day. But I mean, sure, go ahead and fire him. I mean, please fire Ryan Day. But anyway, I mean, can't beat Michigan, can't win the Big Ten. Not since 2020. I mean, if only one playoff win. I mean, if Ryan Day loses in the first round of the playoffs, then yeah, I could definitely see him getting fired if that happens. Anyway, but Michigan, I mean, for the bad year they've been having, I mean, at least you get wins over your rivals, Ohio State and Michigan State. So at least you got that. You might not be a playoff team, but at least you won the game. So And now, of course, got to laugh at, yeah, Miami. You lost to Syracuse. Yeah, you lost to a fruit. You lost to a color. I mean, you have no defense. I know I don't want to hear anything about you being, top 25 in total defense. I mean, 42 points, over 500 yards to Syracuse. And this loss, yeah, this knocks you out of the ACC title game. So it's going to be since 2004. You've never won the ACC. 21 years in the ACC. No conference title. I mean, at one time in 2017, you did make it to the championship. That's the only time. Of course, you got absolutely obliterated by Clemson. Right, that was one of the Mark Richt years. But anyway, I mean, you blew a 21-0 lead. I mean, you had your foot on their throat. You had a chance to to put them away, but you didn't. You let them come back and beat you. So now you know what this means. Yes, so no ACC championship, and 2 losses. Right? No, right? 0 ranked wins. So yeah, your playoff chances are not looking good. You better hope that SMU wins the ACC. I mean, but yeah, no national title since 2001. I mean, I was 4 the last time Miami won anything relevant. I mean, of course, I don't remember the 80s and 90s. I mean, Ed Reed, Michael Irving. Who are these people? I mean, yes, I mean, Miami is completely irrelevant to me. It's not about the U. Anyway, so I guess next we can talk about yeah, and I mean, give Syracuse credit. I mean, they were down 21, but they didn't they didn't quit. So now they're not going to the ACC championship or the playoffs, but they got to play spoiler to Miami. So now, of course, we can talk a little bit about the Georgia Tech game. Of course, 44-42 in 8 overtime. And I mean, really, we didn't. We did not deserve to win this game. I mean, Tech blew it. I mean, up 17-0, at halftime, but really it could have been a lot worse. And 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 then of course we end up coming back in the second half and tying the game, going to overtime. I mean, again, of course, we, come out and score 2 touchdowns out of the half while Tech gets a field goal. And then Haynes King runs it for a touchdown to go up by 2 touchdowns. And then I thought, that was it. We're about to lose. But the next drive, touchdown. And then Haynes King picks up the first down, but he fumbles. Yep, Dan Jackson forces the fumble. I mean, yes, it probably should have been targeting, but oh well. I mean, of course, we also got bailed out on a 4th and goal with on a 4th and goal with the pass interference. But then again, there was also a play where the Tech player fumbled. Probably should have been called a fumble. I mean, looked like he took 3 steps with the ball to me. But I mean, the ruling on the field was incomplete, and it stood. I mean that should have been a fumble. I mean, now of course this game never would have gone to overtime if Kirby hadn't made the decision to go for it. If he had just kicked that field goal in the first half instead of going for it on 4th and 1, or going for 2 after we scored that first touchdown, was just completely idiotic. Should have never even gone to overtime. And then we go to 8 overtimes. I mean, it's kind of like by the probably by like the 6th overtime. It's like I didn't really care. It's like I almost didn't care who won at that point. I just wanted the game to end. But of course, I'm happy that we won. I mean, even if we lost, we were still going to the SEC championship, and win that, and we're in. But because we won this game, now we have our insurance. That even if we lose the SEC championship, we will still get in. So, but I mean, Haynes King is a beast. I threw for 300 yards on us, ran for 100 yards. I mean, we gave up like 560 total yards of offense. I mean, yeah, I've been leading the fire. Yeah, I started the Fire Schumann movement in the Uncle Lou comment section. So anyway, let's see. Next up, but yeah, the other big upset of the weekend, of course, we had South Carolina beating Clemson 17-13. Now, I knew South Carolina was going to win this game. I mean, I called it in my predictions that South Carolina would get the win, and they did. yes, the Taters are 9-3, but of course, despite being 9-3, only one conference loss to Louisville. And of course, and, and of course, 0 ranked wins. Haven't really beat anyone with a pulse. But yet they still have a chance to get in because they're in the ACC title game, thanks to Syracuse beating Miami. Now South Carolina has now won 6 games in a row to finish at 9-3, which is and I mean that's a great season for South Carolina. It would be the best since the Steve Spurrier era. But if you're a South Carolina fan, you just have to think about what could have been. I mean, you had that LSU game stolen from you. I mean, you got hosed. That's what happened. I mean, South Carolina should be 10-2 right now. They should be ranked in the top 12. And of course, only lost to Alabama by 2. Could have won that one. Of course, the only really bad loss that they had was they did get blown out by Ole Miss. But anyway, Lenora Sellers ran for like 160 yards in this game, like 10 yards per carry. And I think that Lenora Sellers, I mean, is very similar to Jalen Milroe. I think that the main difference is that Milroe plays on a more talented roster. So basically, Jalen Milroe is just Lenora Sellers, but with better receivers. But anyway, okay, so now we can get into the rest of these games. So we'll just, go in order. We'll just do, the rest of the games on page 1, and then we'll go to page 2. But anyway, yes, let's see. Now, of course, the other big game, Texas A&M. This rivalry being renewed after 13 years. Of course, Texas won 17-7. But I mean, Texas really did not look that great in this game. I mean, they looked good in the first half, 17-0, but then got shut out in the second half. Really couldn't get anything going except for that one drive when you got into the red zone, and then Ewers threw a pick six. Get a 93-yard pick six. And then A&M had 4th and goal from the 1. I mean, so really this, should have been a 1-score game. I mean, you take the field goal. I mean, you kick the field goal there, and it's 17-10. You cut it to a 1-score game. That's what Elko should have done. Or, if you can gain 1 yard, that's even better. It's like, how many times have we seen, coaches, go for it on fourth down, passing up the field goal and not get it? I mean, how many times have we seen this with Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin have been, the worst about this. But now even, you've even got, Kirby Smart and Mike Elko doing it too. I mean, this whole analytics crap has gotten out of hand. But anyway, Texas is going to the SEC championship for rematch against Georgia. And anyway, so now we'll throw it back to these weeknight games. Let's see. Buffalo destroyed Kent State 43-7. Now it's Buffalo and Kent State. But the reason why this game is important is because Kent State finishes the season 0-12. Yeah, it's the only FBS team to go 0-12. So congratulations, Kent State, on your perfect season. I mean, going 0-12 is just as hard as going 12-0. So anyway, next, how about Memphis Tulane on Thanksgiving? Yet Memphis won 34-24. So I mean, Tulane is still going to the American Conference Championship, but now they won't have the home field, and this also puts Tulane out of the running for college football playoff, because if Boise State would have lost, then Tulane would have jumped them. But anyway, next, how about Miami of Ohio beat Bowling Green 28-17 to clinch a berth in the MAC championship. About Minnesota, Wisconsin. So Wisconsin, your season is actually over. No bowl game for you. Wisconsin misses out on a bowl game. For the first time since 2002. Sorry, I breathed in something. Anyway, Minnesota wins 24-7. They're going to bring home Paul Bunyan's axe. Oh yeah, and it was PJ Fleck's birthday on Saturday, so happy birthday to PJ Fleck, Minnesota head coach. Anyway, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Egg Bowl. Ole Miss wins 26-24. Anyway, Mississippi State is now going to finish 2-10 and 0-8 in the SEC. Remember last year, State was I mean, y'all were 5-7 and fired Zach Arnett. Now 2-10, 0-8 in the SEC, and you're keeping you're keeping Jeff Lebby. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense, but. And anyway, let's see what else. Utah State, Colorado State. Yeah, we got a rivalry here. A group of 5 teams. Colorado State won 42-37. Anyway, let's see. Nebraska, Iowa. Let's see. Iowa beats Nebraska 13-10. Good thing Nebraska already made a bowl. Now Iowa will finish 8-4. I mean, their offense was a lot better than it was last year, though the defense took a big step back. See, Tennessee Vandy. Yep, Tennessee wins 36-23. They punched their ticket to the college football playoff. You were down 14, 14-0 in the first quarter. Didn't blink. Ended up dominating the last 3 quarters. Anyway, let's see about Illinois Northwestern. Illinois wins 38-28 and claims the Land of Lincoln trophy. Anyway, Illinois finishing 9-3. And now with a bowl game and an opportunity to win 10 games for the first time since 2001. Anyway, let's see. Louisville destroys Kentucky 41-14, snapping a 5-game losing streak to your in-state rival. I mean, Kentucky was terrible this year. 4-8, 1-7 in the SEC. I mean, Brock Vandagriff turned out to be a massive disappointment. I mean, just like this whole season, I'm the worst season Mark Stoops has had since 2015 was the last time Kentucky didn't make a bowl. Anyway, let's see. Duke beat Wake Forest 23-17. Duke won it on wins the game on a Hail Mary. I mean 9-3. Good first year for Manny Diaz at Duke. Meanwhile, Wake Forest, it's 4-8. I think they went 4-8 last year too. Is Wake Forest going to fire Dave Clawson? I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, how about Louisiana Lafayette and Louisiana Monroe? Let's see, Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns get the win, 37-23, and in clinch home field advantage in the Sun Belt Championship. Anyway, next, how about Eastern Michigan beats Western Michigan 26-18. Western Michigan is going bowling, while Eastern Michigan, your season is literally over. You're going to finish at 5 wins. Next up, Penn State just destroyed Maryland, 44-7. I mean, I guess bouncing back after almost losing to Minnesota. Punched their ticket not just to the playoffs, but also to the Big Ten championship with Ohio State going down. Anyway, let's see. Notre Dame beats Southern Cal 49-35. I mean, Southern Cal, tried real hard in this game. I mean, they went blow for blow with Notre Dame for those first three quarters. It was like 35-28, but then two pick sixes in the fourth quarter put Notre Dame up 3 touchdowns. Anyway, so Notre Dame has punched their ticket to the playoffs. Let's see, Iron Bowl. Alabama beats Auburn 28-14. I mean, Alabama did not look overly impressive in this game. I mean, they did have 4 turnovers. All right, so now Auburn's season is literally over. You had to win this game to get to a bowl. Couldn't do it. Let's see. Next, how about Arizona State, Arizona? Arizona State wins 49-7 to clinch their spot in the Big 12 championship. I mean, poor Zona, man. I mean, Arizona State just had their way with them. Cam Skibbity ran for almost 200 yards. Not Cam Skibbity. I mean, Scattaboo. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Missouri beats Arkansas 28-21 in the Battle Line Trophy. I mean, Mizzou finishes at 9-3. I know a lot of people are going to say that Mizzou is not good, and that they shouldn't even be ranked. But whatever, they're going to finish ranked. So, because Arkansas finishes at 6-6. I mean, Arkansas really could have been a lot better. I mean, it's like how do they lose to Oklahoma State? Anyways, now battle for North Carolina. NC State beats North Carolina 35-30, giving Mack Brown a loss in his final game as a head coach. Yep, so spoiled Mack Brown's farewell. Of course, after being fired a week ago. And NC State makes it to a bowl. Anyway, App State, Georgia Southern wins 29-20, keeping App State out of a bowl game. Anyway, let's see. It's deep. It's deeper than hate. But anyway, anyway, Purdue, Indiana. Yes, Indiana just absolutely obliterated Purdue, 66-0, bouncing back after getting blown out by Ohio State, the Hoosiers have punched their ticket to the college football playoff. And meanwhile, Purdue has fired head coach Ryan Walters. I think it was 4-8 last year. This year, 1-11, winless in the Big Ten. So then now the search is on for a new coach. Anyway, next up, let's see, Florida State. The Sunshine State rivalry. Let's see, Florida wins 31-11. So now Florida State has gone from 12-0 to 2-10. Guess you got to carry that one. Yep. Carry that one. So now it's 2-10 instead of 12-0. But anyway, I'll bet that y'all want to get out of the ACC now. I think that Conference USA would be a good fit. So continue with your with your lawsuit against the ACC. Anyway, last year you cried because you couldn't make a 4-team playoff. Well, now you didn't even make a 12-team playoff. I mean, the playoffs could have gone to 64 teams, like college basketball, and you still would have missed the playoffs. Anyway, Florida finishes 7-5, which is still not great, but a lot better than what anyone expected. I mean, Billy Napier is going to have his first winning season at Florida. I mean, but really strong finish for Florida. Winning 3 in a row. That included wins against Florida and Ole Miss. Yep. Looks like the athletic director made the right decision to keep Sunbelt Billy. Anyway, let's see. Washington, Oregon. Oregon destroyed Washington 49-21. Yep. Getting revenge from last year, where Washington beat Oregon twice. And they have finished a perfect 12-0 in the regular season. Now it's on to Big Ten championship. But no matter what happens in this game, Oregon is in. Anyway, let's see, Nevada, UNLV. UNLV won 38-14. So now UNLV has clinched a spot in the Mountain West Championship. They will get a rematch with Boise State, and if they win that, they'll be in the playoffs. They'll be the Group of 5 representative for the playoffs if they can beat Boise State. Anyway, next up, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech wins 37-7. Excuse me, 37-17. And yeah, Virginia's season is literally over. But Virginia Tech made a bowl with this win. I mean, Virginia Tech. I think they were supposed to be a lot better than this. Of course, started out with the opening loss to Vandy. I mean, but then sort of like the end of last season, they did do better in the second half of their schedule. Yeah, they've won 5. Was it 5 of their last 7 games, or 4 of their last 6, or something like that. Anyway, okay, I guess we'll move on to let's hit page 2 here. All right, there we go. Let's see. How about Boise State beats Oregon State 34-18. Ashton Jeanty had a big game, over 200 yards and a touchdown for Jeanty. Let's see. How about Oklahoma State, Colorado. Yep, Colorado wins 52-0. Colorado just had their way with Oklahoma State. I mean, let's see. Travis Hunter had a good game, over 100 yards receiving, and a couple of touchdowns. Was not the team's leading receiver, though. That was Latavion Wester. But anyone also, yeah, he also had an interception. Or was it 2 interceptions? Anyway. So he put on a good show for the Heisman committee. Now, of course, about the Heisman voters. Let's see. Ohio beats Ball State 42-21 to clinch a spot in the MAC championship. Let's see, and then let's see. Sam Houston beats Liberty 20-18, knocking Liberty out of the of any chance to make the Conference USA title game. But Sam Houston still with a chance. However, Western Kentucky beat Jacksonville State 19-17. So now both of these two teams will play again, same place, this week for the Conference USA championship game. Of course, I mean, both of these teams were already, I think they were already going to be in anyway. But I think that this win made it so that, because, I mean, Western Kentucky actually beat Sam Houston, so they still would have had the tiebreaker. So I think this is already what the matchup was going to be, but they were just playing for, who was going to have the home field. but anyway, yes. So they're going to turn around and play again at Western Kentucky. Anyway, let's see about Utah UCF. Utah won 28-14. Now, neither one of these teams are going to a bowl. However, for UCF, Gus Malzahn quit. He's going to be the new offensive coordinator for Florida State next year. It does seem like a strange move to quit a head coach position to be a coordinator. But anyway, let's see. How about Kentucky Baylor? Yeah, now this one hurts. Kansas. You had won 3 in a row. You pulled off 3 massive upsets. Beat Iowa State and then BYU and then Colorado. All you had to do was beat Baylor to make a bowl. I mean, you do all that. Only to get blown out by Baylor, 45-17. So yeah, Kansas, your season is over. But Kansas is. They're really a lot better than their record shows. They were in a lot of close games. Guess they had 5 losses were by less than 7 points. So they should have won more games than they did. Probably should have won at least 2 more games. Probably should have been at least 7-5. But anyway, Kansas State is still the only team to finish with a losing record and beat 3 ranked teams. Was it just 3 ranked teams, or was it to beat 3 ranked teams 3 weeks in a row? But anyway, let's see. Anything else? Is about LSU beating Oklahoma. Wait, well, I guess we can talk more about Baylor. Yeah, Baylor really turned it around. Of course, 3-9 last year. Looked like they were going to be terrible again this year. Started out 2-4. Looked like it was going to be another disaster, and Dave Aranda was getting fired. But then y'all just reeled off 6 straight wins. So now that means Aranda is staying. But anyway, let's see. LSU beats Oklahoma 37-17. Not really much to see here. Good thing Oklahoma already made it to a bowl game. Now, big game, Brian Kelly. Couldn't win the big game. So a disappointing end of the season. But at least it's going to end with a win. Let's see how about Iowa State beating Kansas State 29-21. This is Iowa State's first 10-win season in program history. Yep, that's amazing. And not only that, but they've also clinched a spot in the Big 12 championship. Guess getting in over BYU due to the strength of schedule tiebreaker, right? The combined record of all Big 12 opponents was greater for Iowa State. even though, yes, BYU did beat Houston 30-18 to also finish at 10-2. Anyway, let's see. How about SMU destroyed Cal 38-6. So, I mean, they were already in the ACC championship anyway. But now this keeps their playoff chances alive. No matter what happens in the ACC championship, I think SMU is still in. SMU's completed a perfect record in the ACC. And they were a group of 5 team last year. Anyway, how about Texas Tech destroyed West Virginia 52-15. Just had their way with them. I mean, Texas Tech running back Taj Brooks just ran all over West Virginia, almost 200 yards. And West Virginia had already made a bowl game, but head coach Neil Brown has been fired, so the search is on for a new coach. Let's see. Army beat UTSA 29-24 to finish with a 10-1 record. 10-1, but 7-0 in conference play, or 8-0. Of course, they still have to play Navy, but I guess it doesn't matter what happens in that game now. But Army has clinched home field advantage in the AAC title game, where they will face Tulane. Anyway, let's see what else. How about Pitt Boston College? Boston College wins 34-23. The collapse of Pitt needs to be studied. Started out 7-0, and now you've lost 5 in a row. Hate to see it. Let's see. Next, how about Rutgers beat Michigan State 41-14. Michigan State, your season is over. Rutgers going to finish 7-5, which I mean that's a good year for Rutgers. About TCU beat Cincinnati 20-13. Cincinnati season is over. TCU, has really turned it around. Of course, they were 5-7 last year. Now 8-4 this year. UTEP, New Mexico State. Yeah, I didn't even know that this one was a rivalry, but this was actually their 101st meeting. Anyway, UTEP wins 42-35. Now, both of these teams are terrible, but yes, it is better to finish the season with a win. And now Washington State. Yeah, and this one hurts. I know, Washington State. I know you started out 8-1, and then just completely fell off. You lost 3 in a row to end the season. Now you've lost to Wyoming. They're terrible. They're like a 3-win team, but they beat you 15-14. Anyway, how about let's see. Marshall beat James Madison 35-33 in double overtime. I mean, it didn't go to 8 overtime, but actually JMU started out as a 17-0 lead. So he ended up going to overtime 24-24. Second overtime, James Madison scored a touchdown but didn't get there too. Marshall scored a touchdown, and they got there too. So now Marshall is now a clinched division title. Yes, actually, the Sun Belt is the only FBS conference that still has divisions. But anyway, they won their division, the East, over Georgia Southern. If James Madison had won, then Georgia Southern would be in the Sun Belt Championship. Anyways, that is going to be it. Yeah, no, this was a long one, but we did have a lot to cover. This was the last week of the regular season, so we're only going to have 9 games to talk about next week, so should be a lot shorter video. But anyway, so let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.